Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Thursday's edition of You Can't Make This Up. I'm Curt Reed from Calvary Chapel Harvest Life in Las Vegas, and I'm glad to have you joining with us today. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so we are going to get right on into it. I want to talk about some things you just can't make up in the world in which we live in today. Think about this for a moment. If a man pretends to be a woman, you're required to pretend with him. You just can't make that up these days, can you? Russians influencing our elections are bad, but illegals voting in our elections are good. Okay. People who have never owned slaves should pay slavery reparations to people who have never been slaves. Does that make any sense? I don't think so. Irish doctors and German engineers who want to emigrate to the United States go through a rigorous vetting process. But any illiterate gangbangers who jump the southern fence are welcome in America. How about these ones? If you cheat to get into college, you go to prison. But if you cheat to get into the country, you go to college for free. What a deal, man. You can't make this up. Or how about this? People who say there's no such thing as gender are demanding a female president. Crazy. Just crazy, guys. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. And guess what? You can't make this up either. Check this one out. American Psychological Association tells children that asking questions is a form of disinformation. That's right, kids. That's right, kiddos. You don't want to ask questions because, well, it might just threaten the established disorder, not order. There's no order in this world today, but the established disorder. But what do they want to do? They want to take it, they want to twist it, and they're telling the children that asking questions is a form of disinformation. Guys, you can't make that up, nor can you this one right here. Check it out. Surgeon General's warning. Parents may be hazardous to your health, or parenting. Parenting might be hazardous to your health. You got to be kidding me, guys. Like, what bizarro world are these people living in? Right? The Surgeon General has become a new, has a new public health warning. And this time the hazard, well, it's not tobacco. No, it's not smoking. It's not alcohol. It's parenting. That's right. Parenting can be hazardous to your health. 2/5 of parents say that on most days they are so stressed they can't function. That's where they get that parenting can be hazardous to your health. Guys, I'll tell you what's hazardous to our health. The Surgeon General. I'll tell you what's hazardous to our health is the regime that's in office right now, right? I mean, guys, absolutely crazy. Hey, let's get into some good satire here. I love the Babylon Bee. They put out some fantastic stuff. Man, these guys, they really crack me up. Look at this one right here. Babylon Bee. We have not intentionally allowed millions of illegals to cross the border to vote, says Mayorkas, waving his hand, attempting a Jedi mind trick. Ooh, wow. We haven't intentionally allowed millions of illegals to cross the border to vote. Oh, really? Really? So what do you think all of the videos and all of the pictures of all of that? What do you think so many of our congressmen and women and senators that have gone down there and all of that, right? It's just all made up, right? And it's like they just keep on speaking a lie often enough. I mean, it is a tactic, right? It is a mind control tactic that if you just keep on speaking the same lie over and over and over and over again, that, well, I'm just going to say it, stupid people are just going to believe it, right? They're just going to believe it. They're going to be like, well, wow, it's true because that's what they're saying all the time, right? So, I mean, crazy stuff, but just like attempting, waving of the hand, attempting a Jedi mind trick. Well, this brings to mind this right here. Let's check this out. Yeah.
All right, man.
About 3 or 4 seasons? Love for sale if you want. Did you see the first one? Find someone who's stupid, right? You just got to be. Okay, step number 2. Step number 2.
Don't need to see his identification.
He's identification.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
It's not the choice we're looking for.
He can go about his business.
You can go about your business.
Move along.
And look at that. Luke Skywalker's like, what is going on here, man? This is crazy Jedi stuff, man. This is crazy stuff. How to do the Jedi mind trick by Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Guys, I'll tell you what, we got this regime in office right now, and then you got their own little individual regime going on there in California with Emperor Newsom. And I'll tell you what, guys, it blows my mind how people just believe these things. And what does the fake news media out there suffering from liabetes, what do they say? Well, they say, hey, you guys, Curt, you and all these other guys and gals out there, you guys are conspiracy theorists, right? No, I don't believe that. This is what I think it is right here, and this is what I've been doing. Maybe you've been doing this too. Check it out. Highlighting all my conspiracy theories that have come true. Wow, like every one of them. The whole thing is highlighted, right? Because guess what? Every one of those so-called conspiracy theories, they're not conspiracy theories, they're conspiracies. They've all come true. Crazy, crazy stuff. You can't believe these politicians, guys. You can't believe them for a moment. All right, check this one out right here. Watch. CBS was caught editing Kamala's 60 Minutes answer regarding Israel. Oh, no, there's no way that could be. 60 CBS, right? CBS? No, they're honest, right? Remember these news companies and these reporters and all, they speak the truth. We can believe them, right? Because they are on the right side, right? We can believe what they say, right? No, I don't know. You're going to have to come to your own conclusion on this. If you need any more evidence that the Democrat Party owns the media, look no further than what CBS just did to Kamala Harris's answer about Israel in her recent interview with Bill Whittaker of 60 Minutes. Guys, this is just, it's absolutely horrible what goes on. And unless you check vet your sources, check things out, guys, I'll tell you what, they would have us believing, who knows what, right? Well, let's look at this. We're going to check out the actual answer and then the edited answer of what CBS did in order to make Kamala Harris actually not look as bad as she really is. And why would they do that? Look, guys, just report the news. Why would they do that? Why? Here's the answer. Because they have an agenda. And folks, this is why it's so important that we really vet our sources, that we're careful with what we're listening to on YouTube, on the news, reading from Google, any of those things, folks, because I'll tell you what, the deception is so great. And we know in the last days that the master deceiver himself is going to bring such a deception on the world that Scripture says that if possible, which it's not possible, but if possible, even the elect would fall for these things, right? We are living in a time of great deception. Let's check this out.
The work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region.
Kamala Harris went on this 60 Minutes interview Sunday night. And we showed you some clips of it yesterday. And now CBS is actually selectively editing the interview for replays. Take a look at this.
Oh, come on. I mean, CBS is going to selectively edit that from 60 Minutes? Come on. Could it be true? Check it out.
It seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Did you see what they just did right there? She gave a completely nonsensical, ridiculous answer. We played that answer yesterday, and now where they've posted it in various places online, they have edited that out.
Wow, guys. See, and we keep on finding these things happening, folks, where there are all these edit outs and changes to make these, well, for example, here, Kamala not look like she's saying what she's actually saying. And well, I mean, it's just a shame, guys. And again, we've got to really vet our sources. We got to vet our sources. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who doesn't fall for the establishment, and who won't kiss the ring of the establishment. And I'll tell you who it is. None other than Homie the Clown. Check this out.
Kiss the ring of the man.
Excuse me a second.
Woo! Don't mess with Homie the Clown. In fact, we got more on this. Check this out.
I don't think so. Homie never played that. It was all part of Homie's master plan just to bop the man. Kiss this.
You fool.
Don't mess with Homie the Clown. Homie don't play that, right? Homie don't play that. I'll tell you, Homie the Clown, you can't fool him, right? You can fool a lot of these people out here today. Can't fool you and me. You can't fool Homie the Clown, right? Wow. Guess what? What about the Babylon Bee? All right, check this one out here, guys. You can't make this up. Alabama pastor placed on leave after giving sermon without college football analogy. Wow, really? Well, elders at First Baptist Church of Tuscaloosa recently placed the church's head pastor, Bob Jimbo James, on leave after he gave a sermon without incorporating even one single college football analogy. Wow. Well, I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, I thought that church was all about the dog and pony show. I thought the church was like the modern, you can go to church or you can go to Cirque du Soleil and it's the same thing, right? Well, I think in many churches today, it actually is. In fact, I had shown you all this video clip earlier in the year talking about churches and football, because guess what? It's not important that we have the gospel in church. It's important that we utilize the Bible as a football and kick it across the stage, right? Oh, guys, now this, what I'm about to show you, if you haven't seen this before, this isn't satire. This actually happened at a mega church here in America. Check this out.
Just call it when it lands. Call it in the air. Tails. What I'm kicking. Yeah, let's just go with tails. Would you like to kick or receive the Bible? I will receive. Tom wins the toss, chooses to receive the Bible. Patterson back with the kick. Oh my goodness. Is that a touchback? Can you even get a touchback? First time in 18 years, there's a touchback for the kickoff.
Wow. You really just can't make this up. I'll tell you what, they'd never dare do that to the Quran, right? You know, guys, it just makes me so sick. But this is what has become of a number of churches in America today, guys, you know? And this is what I say about it, right? Just what a sham. What a sham. You just can't make it up. You can't make it up. All right, what about this? Look at this one right here. This is incredible. Axis of Ezekiel 38. Axis of evil, axis of Ezekiel 38. Turkish President Erdogan calls for Russia, Iran, Turkey, and Syria alliance against Israel. Israel, the most concrete threat to regional and global peace, says the Turkish president. Israel is the most concrete threat to regional and global peace. Israel, right? Like one of the smallest nations in the world. Israel. You got to be kidding me, guys. But you know what? When we read of this access of evil or access of Ezekiel 38, well, it really is just that, right? I mean, it's like right out of the page of the Bible, guys. And we see all of these things coming together. We see the stage being set before our very eyes. Surely the time of really the rapture of the church and following that, the tribulation that will follow, and then the second coming of Christ. Surely the time for all of these things is really near. Guys, we can't make this up. We live in amazing times. We live in biblical times to be able to see the things that we are seeing today. Absolutely incredible. And when you talk about, and we see that there's going to be that military advance that's going to be against Israel. Well, guys, we see a whole bunch of problems that are even threatening the United States right now. We've got problems on all kinds of in all kinds of areas. And one of the issues that we've got, one of the greatest issues that we've got, is with China, right? And China doesn't even take us seriously. I mean, why would China take us seriously? In fact, check this out right here.
Hello, brave soldier of People Liberation Army. As you know, our worst enemy is the United States of America. Traditional warfare techniques are not effective against their formidable forces. Luckily, we have found their weakness: misgendering. Our beautiful friend President Joseph Robinette Biden was nice enough to loan us some American soldier for this demonstration. Let's take a watch.
Hello there, annyeonghaseyo, as your people say.
The first technique is to shout wrong pronoun at American troop. Watch this. He, him. He, him. You are he, him. You are he, him. I can see clearly. You are bearded man. Next technique. Remember that while we build strong culture and study tactics here in China, Americans are studying crazy things like gender theory on TikTok. So you can just distract them and attack from behind, like this. Oh, is that a drag queen story, Alma? Drag queens where?
You know, guys, I mean, like, seriously, though, seriously, how can China take America seriously? How can Russia take America seriously when there is this kind of stuff, literally, that is going on in the U.S. military with LGBTQ, with the gender pronouns, and you identify as this and that and everything else. You know, in Russia, I actually watched, I think it's a couple of years ago now, they actually put out I think it was like a commercial, and it was mocking the U.S. military, showing two men getting married. This is what they think of us. These other countries, Russia, China, others, they look at us as we're weak. Why is that? Because we have been weakened from within. We've been weakened morally, guys, and it's pretty hard for them to take us seriously because of those kinds of things. Well, let's check this one out. Oregon DEI Forestry Snitch, bus boss for prioritizing qualified candidates over gender identity. Oregon's number 2 official at the Department of Forestry, Mike Shaw, was placed on administrative leave after the department's former DEI strategy officer, okay, guys, you can't make this up. What do you need a DEI strategy officer? Like, these people have lost their minds. We pay, this is where our tax dollars go to, is to pay for this garbage. You got to be kidding me, right? Who was placed on administrative leave after the department's former DEI strategy officer, Megan Donaker, complained that Shaw had looked, quote, beyond gender and identity in hiring, seeking only candidates most qualified for the job. Well, what else would we want but a candidate that is most qualified for the job? Isn't that why we hire someone? That we should be hiring someone because they are the most qualified to do the job. No, that doesn't matter anymore. That doesn't matter anymore. And the second official in the Department of Forestry there in Oregon was placed on administrative leave. Why? Because, well, as they said, he looked beyond gender and identity hiring, seeking only candidates that are most qualified. You can't make this stuff up, guys. Nuts. Crazy. All right, you want to talk about crazy? Well, we're going to bring this blast back from the past, right? Remember Bill Clinton, right? Bill Clinton. Well, but hey, I'm going to say this, though. Well, Bill may have done us a good service here because, well, according to WorldNet Daily, Bill Clinton, check this out, now is appearing in a pro-Donald Trump ad blasting the border catastrophe. Are you serious? Yeah, check this out. He points out that crime is down when immigrants are vetted. Well, that goes against the Democratic Party, right? That he said that. That's crazy. Bill Clinton is making a presidential race TV ad appearance on behalf of the Republican candidate, President Donald Trump. It might not be willingly, though, but it still uses his words and his voice to unleash some serious criticism of the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris border catastrophe. Listen to this. Check this out.
Case in Georgia not very long ago, didn't you? They made an ad about a young woman who'd been killed by an immigrant. Yeah, well, if they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened. But if they all properly vetted, and that doesn't happen.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I gotta love it, man. I gotta love it. You know, and he said, hey, if they were properly vetted, he said, you had a case in Georgia not very long ago, he states, and they made an ad about a young woman who had been killed by an immigrant. Yeah, well, if they had been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened. But if they all are properly vetted, that doesn't happen. Wow. Well, thank you. Actually, you can't make that up, right? Wow. Actually, something that was truthful that was said. And man, I'll tell you what, that is perfect for Donald J. Trump ad right there, man, as he's running for president. Guys, you can't make these things up, not one bit. We live in absolutely crazy times, bizarro world. But I'll tell you what it says in Psalm chapter 2. It says in verse 1, beginning in verse 1, why do the nations rage and the peoples plot a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take control together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bonds in pieces and cast away their cords from us. He who sits in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord shall hold them in derision. Guys, they think that they know what they're doing. They think they're in control. And the adversary actually has the audacity to think that he's going to win at this whole thing. Well, he's not, and neither are those who reject Jesus Christ as Savior and Lord and fall for all of that. Guys, the enemy just laughs at all of this, or the Lord laughs at all of this. The Lord laughs at all of their attempts at these things. And you know what? We can look at some of these things, and as bad, and as so much of this stuff is, I hope that you could at least have a little bit of a laugh today as well, because remember this: soon and very soon, I believe soon and very soon, we are going to see the King. Jesus is coming to rapture his church, and we are going to be up and out of here, and we are going to meet the Lord in the air and be with the Lord always and forever. So guys, just remember, all of this that's happening right now, this is just temporary. It's a blip on the map, because we are going to be with the Lord. And I'll tell you what, that's what helps me in coping with all of these things that we see around us today. Guys, you can't make these things up. Glad to have you joining with us today. Look forward to having you next time. God bless.